time welcome to Lunch and Arbor Marketing. Yes, thank you for coming. And I think we have some newbies here, right? Some first-timers. First-timers, LA2M virgins. Raise your hand, I know you're there. Thank you for coming. And a lot of younger people, it's very nice. Yeah, young newbies, we like. And I say newbie, I mean, you've probably been following on Twitter and you probably see all our Facebook stuff, but you made it out. And I see why, because we got a great panel today. We have a Motown panel today, which is kind of cool. Yeah, Motown. So anyways, my name is Derek Marabon, CEO of Genex Digital Marketing, and you are at Lunch and Arbor Marketing. And for those of you who are new, just to give you a quick idea, we have about a 30-minute talk. These people will talk, and every week we talk about great things about marketing. There will be time for Q&A, and I think today we have a panel format, which there will probably be some more Q&A, and Tiffany is our MC, Tiffany Reisner from Genex is our MC. So, and just so you know, we have a LinkedIn group, which some updates on that, we did just make it public. What does that mean to you? That means that anyone can see your comments, and anyone can see the things you post there, which I think is good. I think LinkedIn is trying to move into that, and we are kind of a public group, so why not play in that game? So feel free to join our LinkedIn group and promote things that are good for the group. And then also we have a Facebook page, which I'm sure you like us. I'm sure you already follow us on Twitter at LA2M. And then there is a hashtag for this, hashtag LA2M. I know there's a lot of tweeters in the room, so please feel free to push that out. We'll talk about social media stuff in a minute. Crowd Juice, thanks Dee. Yes, Crowd Juice. How many of you signed up on the Crowd Juice page? Okay, good, thank you. Thank you to all that did that. We're trying to use a new Crowd Juice. This is a startup from the area. Steve Schwartz is the programmer behind it. Ed Farrell, who you've seen here, is the founder. And so let's all try and join Crowd Juice next week, right? Like Dee pointed out to me, Derek, we better get on Crowd Juice if we're going to be promoting Crowd Juice. So even I got on Crowd Juice. So if I get on Crowd Juice, you can get all on Crowd Juice. Right, Bob? What is Crowd Juice? Well, Crowd Juice allows you to see who's coming to an event, and then you can make connections. So for example, Karen, if you want to meet someone that can help you with your Facebook page, you can ask for that in Crowd Juice, and it'll connect you with someone who has Facebook experience. Seems beneficial, right? Yes. So get on the Crowd Juice. And you know what? Our sponsor this month has an announcement. Tammy?
Tammy Burgess with Women Making Connections. It's a networking company, but I also have a couple other companies, and one of them is Elast Office. So we have shared office space. So if you're tired of working out of your house or a coffee shop and you want just some space to come in, we have printers, computers, Wi-Fi, everything you need right there in the office. It's at Miller and First, which is just a few blocks down this way, and I'd love to have you take a look at it and see if it works for you. It's only $100 a month, so it's a real nice space as well. It's elastoffice.us, and you can contact me there, or you can see me or pick up a card outside. Thanks.
Great, thanks, David. Thanks for sponsoring. LA2M is a 501c3 nonprofit, so we're funded by wonderful business owners like Tammy, who actually pay $100 to sponsor, which is a deal because you get 4 email blasts for the month. Every Monday, our email goes out to over 1,000 people within the region. So it's a good email list. It's like a real list with ads to you, and we get to talk about you. So any sponsors for the future, talk to me or talk to me. And let's see, we gotta get started here. Is there anything else I need to announce?
Cell phones.
Yes, please silence your cell phones, courtesy of Mommy Fowler. Please turn them to vibrate. And oh yes, this is the thing. This is what I was trying to remind myself about. So Stacy, who's our treasurer, is not here today. Okay, that's fine. But I'm here and I have baskets, and this is kind of like church. Because LA2M, you're allowed to come for free, right? You can be here for free. It's like church. You can sit there. But we'd like you to give a little bit, right? Give until it hurts, as they say. These are mild jokes I'm making, yes. But technically, you come here for free. It's $10 if you want to eat. That goes to counters. We're going to pass the hat because we're old school. If you want to throw some bucks in the hat, you're welcome to. Don't feel pressure, okay? You certainly don't have to support us with money. You can support us by tweeting and attending is support, right? Just being here is great. So we'll pass the basket. When it gets to the back, maybe if someone could run it up to D80, right up here at the front. Okay. And I'm going to stop talking because I know you don't want to hear from me. So our speaker panel today is Motown South by Southwest. Everybody familiar with South by Southwest Conference? Yes? Okay. Well, these lucky folks not only got to go, but I believe they got sponsored to go, which is pretty cool. Like, I want to be sponsored to go to South by Southwest. And they have some amazing tales to tell us. And Kyle Stuef, you know, he's a regular at LA2M, local boy. Born and raised. He's with the whole brain group. And there's a movie about that. What is it, Limitless, right? Everyone over there uses their whole brain, right? So now here's our third panelist. And Nikki Stephan. First time I met Nikki, but I hear about her all the time on social media, like Facebook. And Nikki is a social media expert. She works with identity public relations, and she also is part of the team at Girls in Tech Detroit, which is very cool. And Jacki, right?
Yeah.
Jacki, our third and final panelist, who I really don't know that much about. I'm ashamed to say that, but Tiffany does. Tiffany knows about her. She can talk about her. So Tiffany Reiser is our MC today. I'm going to hand the mic over. Let's give this panel a big round of applause, folks.
Hi, thank you all for coming. We're so excited to have you. We've got some fresh blood in here, so I hope you all came prepared with some questions that you want to ask. This is a huge event. This is one of the highlighting events for Metro Detroit area. It's the Chevy South by Southwest Roadtrip Challenge. And these are the people that were chosen to be on it. We're going to talk a little bit more about how they were chosen and how it affected their careers and their lives in general. But these are the people you want to be connected with. These are the elite in Detroit digital marketing. So we're really excited to have them. Thank you so much for coming. And Jacki, take a breather. You're cool. We had lots of intro time together. All right. So there are actually 4 members on this team. We are missing Brian Ambrosi, unfortunately. He is doing a business trip in California, so big stuff there. He's the editor-in-chief at iContic.com. And also, he is on the job hunt. So if anyone's looking for a community manager, please feel free to contact him on Twitter at @PrimeSuspect. So he's one to get involved with, and you'll learn a ton more about him as we go through this lovely afternoon luncheon. Okay. So first up, we've got Kyle Stuef. Most of you guys know who he is. Very talented. Kyle is a new media consultant and social media strategist with the Whole Brain Group. Prior to this, a lot of you may know he was working at Arbor Radio, as well as the digital brand agency 2911 Studios. So he has a really nice experience in both traditional and digital marketing. And his extracurriculars include Tweet Tea, woo! It's the newest, hottest Twitter conversation this side of 23, and we include some MC people. We've got an MC crowd over here, so please be gentle with them. And he is also a board member of the Ann Arbor Ipsy Regional Chamber Young Professionals Group, which may be being renamed soon. Branding issues? Yeah, we'll go over that. Then we have Nikki Stephan. She is straight out of identity marketing and public relations. Her specialties are writing, content creation, and social media. She's a member of and involved in the PRSA Detroit, Social Media Club Detroit. Tweet Tea, the Royal Oak chapter, I believe, which was where it began, correct? Goldfish Tea. And the Future Midwest Conference, as well as Girls in Tech Detroit. I know a lot of you went to the Future Midwest. So if you tweeted, you probably were talking to Nikki at some point during that. Last but not least, we have Jacki Halas, like Hala with an S. That's a great way to remember it. She is a marketing communications professional at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, where she enjoys integrating social elements into traditional public relationship campaigns. So you can see these people are perfect for our group here. They do the traditional as well as the digital, so we're really excited. She serves on the Detroit chapter of the International Association of Business Communicators Board of Directors. And she is also managing editor of Girls in Tech Detroit. I don't know if you can see a trend here, Girls in Tech. Join us. Sorry for plugging so many things today, forgive me. She is an environmental enthusiast, avid sports fan, runner, news junkie, style spy, as you can tell, and proud MSU alumni. Yeah, we about half the crowd's excited about that. All right. So I want to say hi to people who are joining us on Ustream. Thank you so much for joining us. Please tweet in your questions using the LA2M hashtag, and we'll try to get them up for you. All right. So on to the actual team. Who would like to introduce the experience? Let's just jump right in. Okay.
guys for being here. Does everybody know what the Chevy South by Southwest road trip is about, or does anybody have no idea what it is? No idea. Okay. All right. So I'll give you a brief overview. So this was the second year that Chevy and GM were involved in this. South by Southwest is a large film, interactive, and music festival that takes place in Austin, Texas every year. And so once GM and Chevy came on board as sponsors, they wanted to do something fun that involved social media enthusiasts and using online and social networks to kind of promote their involvement and promote South by Southwest in general. So last year they put together this road trip, and I believe they had 10 different teams from across the country that competed, did missions while they were driving from their hometowns to Austin, Texas. So our Detroit chapter ended up winning last year. They were awesome, and all of their votes were community-based. So the more people tweeted, liked, shared their content through social networks, the more points they got. So, you know, everybody was just tweeting and sharing things like crazy for 3 days straight, and we did so much of that that the Detroit chapter won. So Chevy put together this huge party. I'm sure some of you were probably there. I know Bobby was. So it was really, really cool. But you know, it just showed the strength of our community and how people rally together to support people who are doing good things in the area. So, you know, came around the second time, they changed some things up, and Detroit had 2 teams this year. So I was contacted by Chris Barger, who was the former director of social media at GM, and he said, hey, you know, we're doing this again this year. We would like you to be captain of one of the Detroit teams. What do you think? And of course, I was definitely in it. I was really excited about it, and then Bobby was the captain of the other team. We like to refer to them as our frenemies. They're a great team. So yeah, anyway, so people were kind of, everybody who was on the team was either nominated through somebody on the Detroit team previously or from the GM staff. So once we had our 8 and Chris kind of contacted everyone and confirmed that everyone could be involved, he chose the teams at random, and love you guys, Bobby, but I think we have the best.
Alternate universe.
So basically, we started off and had no idea what was going to happen, but we just knew we had 11 challenges that we had to complete within the 3 days that we were driving from Detroit to Texas. We knew where we were going. They kind of trickled out information through the weeks leading up to the challenge, but we had no idea what we were going to have to do. We knew it involved creating content in some respect, so you know, we scrambled, we got a website together, we did a video kind of introducing ourselves to the community and just kind of prepped ourselves for what was going to happen from there.
Excellent. So a little bit of the format of how we're going to go through this is I'll start with leading questions, and then if you have any questions, please just raise your hand. I'll come to you with the mic, and we'll get those answered by the team. So we're going to start off with a really nice video that GM made about the featuring Ann Arbor as well as its team. And so here we go.
Chevy is doing a Roadtrip challenge where the teams have to compete and complete challenges in a creative fashion. We're being judged on creativity.
I'm Nikki, Stephan. I'm part of Team Motown. We're from Detroit, and my teammates are Jacki, Ryan, and Kyle.
A group of crazy people from Detroit heading down to Austin for the South by Southwest Festival.
This was our first challenge. We got an obscure clue, figured out this is where we're supposed to go.
You guys are coming to so we're helping the kids make paper bunnies and paper animals and classrooms or rides. It's great.
We raised money for Dr. Classroom charity, and then we needed to donate it to the classroom. So luckily enough, we were able to come out and see these guys. Shouldn't take care of everything. They are on to our South by Southwest, and they're putting us down and back up.
Suburban's really neat because I've already set up like a mobile office in the back, and it's very roomy inside.
It's a beautiful Suburban. It's fully equipped. On Star, we're going to be able to have text to screen so we can update our Facebook and Twitter and all those kind of things directly from the car.
We're ready to edit our video footage. As you can see, Nikki and I have our Mac set up. We're ready to rock out on the road, and then we're going to be on to our next challenge. We don't know where we're going yet.
We need to know where to go next, Kirsten. We're looking for our second. It's a little unsettling. We're getting used to the idea that we're just kind of driving blind. But I think in the end, it's going to prove that they'll take care of us. They'll tell us what we need to do.
Because I'm sure. Actually, do share. All right, as you can tell, we have another team member from Team High Five.
No, these flapjacks.
All right, so one of the main topics we talk about here at LA2M is social media and social media integration. And I know that was a really big tool that you guys use to get the message across. So, Jacki, let's start with you. Can you talk a little bit about how social media was used to spread the word, if it was used in the judging? And we've got a guy from Isaac here, Todd. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Todd. Geez, sorry, Todd. So we talk a little about some of the mobile applications used.
Todd, can you raise your hand, please? Hi, thank you so much for everything you did for us on the trip, which I'll get to in a minute. Thank you everyone for coming out. So social played a huge part in the way we got the word out about what we were doing. It was pretty much the basis for all of our challenges that we were faced with. We created videos, blog posts, we tweeted, Facebooked about it. We posted our pictures on Twitter, and Todd from Isaac was nice enough to set up an SMS campaign for us so that people could text to Motown to the short code 90210 and receive updates. So they would receive our videos via text for every challenge. So that was a great way to keep our community informed, great way to get encouragement from our community to keep going. The pressure was on as we progressed through our crazy challenges. But yeah, so we really couldn't have done this without our supportive communities that really helped us, encouraging us and all of that along the way. So thank you guys for everyone who was there for us. Although this year was different than last year in that social did not have anything to do with the voting. Because obviously we would have won if that was the case.
Did you find, was that explained to you before that they were changing the judging system? Because as a person in the audience, I was kind of unaware that they had changed the judging system, so I was like, tweeting you guys and commenting and subscribing to everything.
And we love you for that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe that message wasn't communicated, and I was wondering if it had been communicated to you pretty early on.
We did know that they were changing up the practice so that community voting and support wouldn't determine the winner. I don't know if it was clearly specified that it wouldn't have anything to do or wouldn't count at all towards the win, but we appreciate all of the support. We wouldn't be able to do it without you, and obviously that's part of Chevy's goal or reason for doing it is to get the word out. So community support definitely matters.
Any questions yet? Feel free to jump in. I'll try to keep an eye on it.
How did they pick the winners?
There was a panel of judges selected by GM. Many of them were Roadtrip contestants from the previous year, along with a secret panel of GM judges who came in at the end and ranked our content and videos as we produce them.
Now, Kyle, I know we talked a little bit about this. It goes along with the judging. I know that you guys were ranked quite differently before the secret judge came in. And I don't know if Team High Five had the same experience.
Yeah, we were like first and second. Yeah.
But there's a little bit of controversy going on about this secret judge. I'll say controversy. You can be PC.
Yeah, so we were judged on a creativity scale. We got a number 1 through 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 meaning the most creative thing they've ever seen in their lives. So each challenge, we had a panel of 3. Yeah, so we had 3 people giving us a score. They would tally up our score. Whoever had the highest was one win. So on the last day, we were in first place. We had done pretty well and been pretty consistent with our scores, and we were up there at the top. And then on the last day, they decided that they each have a secret judge, which is known as GM. They weren't a fan of ours? I don't know. We dropped from first to 5th.
I can shed a little bit light on this.
If you want to, yeah.
We arrived in Austin before they did. They were catching up on their videos in Dallas, I think. And when we got to the welcome party in Austin, they basically told us, that in one words or another, the Detroit team wouldn't win this year. They said that they didn't want to show favoritism because of the Detroit team winning last year. And I think that there was, you know, they were in first place. I think we were in second place, and they basically said it's not going to happen.
So regardless of that, though, we didn't want that. We didn't want that to ruin our experience, you know, because we went into it. Of course, we wanted to win. We were the winners last year. We wanted to come back with that title, and when we found out that we didn't, of course, we were upset. But we didn't want it to ruin our experience because we had gotten so much out of this. I mean, just the experience of spending 3 days creating content on the fly. I mean, it was such a creativity test, you know, and we had Wi-Fi in the car, but it took a long time, especially with the videos, to try to render the videos, to edit them, to upload them. So we were scrambling between, you know, doing the challenges, stopping somewhere with good Wi-Fi to edit and render and upload the video, writing the blog post, putting the photos on Flickr, sharing everything out. So it was just chaotic for 3 straight days. But it was a really, really good challenge. You know, you don't get to do something like that often, where you have to create compelling content on the fly. So, you know, while we are upset that we didn't get to bring home the title, you know, we all became really, really good friends, and we were proud of everything that we put together. And we know the community was too, because you guys were sharing our stuff like crazy. Question.
How many teams are there?
There were 10 teams.
10 teams across the country?
Yes. Two from Canada, too.
Did all that craziness of creating content on the fly open any of your eyes to, oh, I could be doing this every day at work, either a new piece of software or a cloud computing thing or a process?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I like to refer to 9 days. Okay. So the 9 days was kind of like digital boot camp for me. You know, we work in a field that is very open. We share a lot of information, and we're always you know, trying to figure out what the best practices are. But to be able to be just locked in a car with people that I respected and I enjoyed doing that. But I was able to really learn and compare notes and really see how Nikki handles her day-to-day, how Jacki handles her day-to-day, and how Brian handles his 24/7 cycle for our content. And it was good. So when I came back, I was like, I could be doing so much more. It was really good to see, you know, what I was doing right, what I could be doing better, and what I really needed to cut out and be a better worker.
Yeah, I'm just curious, kind of from a strategy standpoint, if you see the whole trip being a case study to how social media can help, or did the message kind of get lost in all the challenges and that sort of thing, and it really didn't put focus on ultimately selling more cars, what I assume GM wanted to do?
I think that through all of our content, you know, we had GM product placement and that. And so in that regard, us being ourselves and being authentic helped their brand because it put a face to it, just like the name of their blog was the GM Faces blog. And one thing that I personally really loved about the road trip was the fact that we were judged on creativity and that I was able to be completely creative. In my job, I work in the healthcare sector, so I'm tasked to come up with creative campaigns for a healthcare company, which isn't necessarily cool or sexy, and you know, we're heavily regulated, so that's a challenge. But here, we were able to just let loose and do it, so it's very fun, very fast-paced. Enjoyed it a lot, and then also being able to represent Detroit. There were more than 14,000 people at South by Southwest. And I think only 8% of that 14,000 were from the Midwest. So to say that we were from Detroit and show that, you know, Detroit is tech savvy and that there is a community here and from Arbor to Michigan in general, that's what I'm really most proud of.
Just to touch on that, what the goal is, I think it was more of an awareness raising thing. Were they trying to sell cars directly through sponsoring this road trip and sponsoring South by Southwest? I think it was more indirectly because I know Chris Barger has said through all of their awareness raising efforts, all their sponsoring different conferences and events, it's more for awareness raising. It's to get the car, get people like us driving the type of car. Would I have ever driven a Chevy Suburban? Probably not. But as soon as I saw that car and I was in it, I was like, this is the coolest car ever. And I talked about it a lot, you know? So I think that was the goal of it. It's just to get people in their cars, get social media enthusiasts talking about their cars, actually in them and experiencing them in some way.
What cars were involved? You were driving Suburban?
Suburban, you had,
We had a
was there, it might have been Equinox too? Yeah.
there was Tahoe hybrid.
Yeah. All SUVs though, because there were 4 to 5 people on each team, and then, especially the way Jacki and I packed, we definitely needed a huge car.
We needed a whole back seat for shoes. Only a back seat.
So talking a little bit more, do we have a question?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we'll get to that and then we'll show a video.
What was the team's, not individuals, but what was the team's best and worst moment?
Great question.
I'll do worse one. We were extremely tired the whole time, probably from the minute that we left. It was 9 days of being up with short naps at night. And so it was our night in Texarkana, Arkansas. And I remember this earlier because I was going back through some of our raw video footage, and to look at it, we were so tired and beat and fed up with trying to sing a Motown song because we decided that was going to be our thing. We were going to sing a Motown song at the end of each video. You'll see that. But we were so tired and done, and you could just see I was visibly checked out.
Hopefully
I'll just talk about it. Yeah, we were back in Motown. That was a little yeah. And not trying to find Wi-Fi in the middle of nowhere. So driving between Tennessee through most of Texas. And then on the way back from Texas, probably until Point, Missouri. Yeah, so we hold up at a lot of Starbucks and McDonald's. And,
I don't know if we have one best high point. For me personally, I think it was when we realized that we were in first place, because at that point we had been through 7 or 8 challenges by then, and like Kyle said, it was chaotic because sometimes we were doing more than one challenge at a time. We got Incredible phones, so we would get text messages with our next challenge. The first couple we had to complete them within a certain time frame, and I think once they realized that everybody was having problems with the Wi-Fi in the car, they cut the time frame out. But they still sometimes give you multiple challenges at one time. So we'd be shooting, Jacki and Brian would be editing, I'd be writing a couple of the posts, Kyle would be working on one of the other videos. So we were doing multiple challenges at one time. So I think, once we hit that, we've been through like 7 or 8 videos and we were kind of exhausted at that point, to see that we were in first place. I think that gave us all, kind of recharged us and refueled us and said, all right, we can do this. We're at the top now. We can't give up.
I would say my worst moment was I was uploading a video. It was one of our final challenges, and we just couldn't get strong enough Wi-Fi at this hotel, and it just kept failing. So we were on like the 5th fail, and we all just headed outside. We were gonna let it upload one more time. I was praying, and so we went outside, and we had this thing where we could do bonus challenges in case there was a tie. So we decided we were going to do a bonus challenge. And our bonus challenge was a chubby bunny contest. I'm not sure if any of you know what that is.
Yeah, tell us what that is.
You pretty much take marshmallows and stuff them in your mouth. So you put one marshmallow in your mouth and you have to say, I'm a chubby bunny. And if you can say it audibly, you get to go to round 2. So you get to put 2 marshmallows in your mouth and say that you're a chubby bunny. So
I'd like to say you have.
You should have incorporated that. So I feel incredibly blessed to have met these people who are very talented, and so to just be able to kick it with them and play Chubby Bunny, and then come back to see that our video had uploaded was the best moment ever.
All Detroit. So Kyle's going to play a video for us. We touched on it a little bit. We talked a little bit about Detroit. This has been a common topic. And actually Kyle wrote a blog about this that was hosted on his own as well as Nikki's blog, Essential Elements, correct? And it's about the distinction between Ann Arbor and Detroit. And this one is talking specifically about Detroit, the top 5 misconceptions about Detroit. So I'll be interested after you guys see this, what your views are and see if they kind of changes misconceptions or if you've heard some of those. So
just to add to that, the challenge was to come up with a top 5 list. That's what it was. And we stopped at this McDonald's because we knew we needed Wi-Fi, and we're like, what the heck are we going to do? And I think it was Brian who actually said, why don't we do a top 5 misconceptions about Detroit? And when we say Detroit, we really mean Michigan in general. So this I think was one of our more popular posts that was shared a lot by the community. So yeah.
Alright, we just had an awesome day. We're in town, down in Detroit. And now I'm on our way to Slow Spark Drink and with some friends. Whoa! Hi! Oh my God. Thank you. Detroit is for lovers.
I got a job.
This USA Today article says that Detroit has an extreme makeover going on. And a large part of that is thanks to technology.
first place until the last question.
So if you can't tell, we tried to inject humor into every one of our videos too. That was kind of our strategy from the beginning. Let's just be funny, let's be silly, let's show off our personalities. We did a lot of acting too, and that's something we noticed the other teams weren't really doing. We kind of like wrote scripts and acted through all of our videos, and some people sang a lot.
Just a warning, we've got about 5 more minutes left until we've got to wrap up. It's not always so quickly.
You want to talk about how we were representatives of the area?
Yes, representatives of the area.
Yeah, so like I said, there were not many people from the Midwest, like from the Southwest. And people who haven't spent time in Michigan or Ohio or Detroit or anywhere in the area, they get to read news stories and they get to, they have kind of this image of a rundown city of New Orleans. And I think we kind of took it on ourselves to make sure that people knew about all the good stuff that was happening, all the emerging industry, how it's becoming a tech hub, how it's a great place to start a business. And when we said that we were from Michigan or we were from Detroit or from Ann Arbor, whatever we said, we kind of always got the same look, the same response. Day's look, or why. So we were kind of the ambassadors down there and telling people why we live here, why we choose to stay here.
So what were you hoping to get out of the trip? I mean, ultimately, what was your goal? I mean, it's a great wrap-up question.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Let's see, when I decided to do the trip, when Chris contacted me via Facebook to ask me if I wanted to do the trip, I had just gotten back into digital. So I worked in digital for a while, and then I worked at Arbor Radio for a while, and I always kind of wanted to be back in digital. And so When he approached me, I kind of thought it was the perfect way to let everybody know that I was back working in social media and building websites and kind of back in the creative space. And I think that it has done that for me tenfold. So I got what I wanted out of it. And I made great new friends.
I was really excited to go to South by Southwest because I heard really, really good things about it and how, one, it's an opportunity to learn about an industry that you're in and that you work in and do for clients and companies every single day, but also it's an opportunity to put some names to faces and meet those people who you talk to online all the time. So that was one thing I got out of it. I got to meet some of the people I've been following on Twitter forever and actually have lunch with them or have a conversation with them face to face. And I was really excited about the challenge of this, especially because we didn't know what was coming. It was exciting, it was nerve-wracking, it was scary, it was a bunch of emotions all at once, but I knew it was going to be a challenge and that I would be a better person and a better professional at the end of it, and I definitely was, and I know it's sappy and corny, but we all became really, really good friends on this trip and realized how alike we are, and like Kyle said, kind of sharing best practices or just sharing life stories in general. So I made really good friends and I got to meet people who I admire and talk to through social channels all the time.
I was also very excited to go to South by Southwest. I had always wanted to go. Last year I followed the conference religiously over Twitter. So I was super stoked when Chris Barger reached out to me. And like Nikki and Kyle said, the best thing that came out of it was the relationships that we formed along the way. And I was just really excited to, when I was first asked to put my skills to the test and see what would happen. So definitely a good thing.
I have a question. At South by Southwest, what was the coolest event that you went to?
I went to a really interesting panel about designing for the touch interface and explaining how people are moving and how the different ways that humans interact with computers and how it's going through the first mouse and the schooling and everything. The multi-people touch, it was just really good. It was all about user experience, and I like to nerd out about that stuff. So that was my favorite.
I think my favorite panel had to do about personal branding. PR Sarah Evans is somebody that I've met a couple of times, and I admire her work and what she's done for the PR and journalism industry. So she was on that panel. Jeremiah Aoyang, one of the writers from Mashable, and I can't remember who else it was, but they had really, really good tips to share. I mean, if anybody's been to the Brand Camp conference that Haj Fleming's hosts, it was similar to that, but some people believe in personal branding, some people don't. So it was interesting to hear the different perspectives of the panel and to have them give you tips about, whether you call it personal branding, whether you call it branding, whether you call it having a personality, here's what you can do to build your reputation in whatever space you're in. And then if anybody knows Gary Vaynerchuk, he did one of the keynotes, and you've always heard that he's just got this crazy personality, and it was interesting to see him, giving his talk in person and having that energy and, what he had to say about his new book. So I think I picked up different speaking styles from people too, and it was good to see them actually do best in person.
This is the first year that there was a health track at South by Southwest, so I found that really relevant and interesting. And I attended the panel that Nikki just spoke about as well, which I found very interesting. So it was cool just to go down there and be around a bunch of other nerds and just completely nerd out about things that a lot of my friends and family don't understand or can't connect with me on. So I recommend it.
All right, well, let's give Team Motown a hand.
Yes, wonderful job, panel. So we have a lot of people here today, so we might as well get to the introductions. This is, for some, the most exciting part. And we're going to start with this enthusiastic gentleman right up front here. But the deal is, give us your name, your company, and if there's anything you're looking for, and you can do all that in 5 words or less, all right, then you win a prize.
They got us singing dance a Motown song over there.
Oh, Motown song.
We can show another video.
Yay!
All right, if we have time, we'll get to a Motown song. Young man. So if this guy's going to introduce himself, pass the mic, stand up, and speak clearly. Here we go.
My name is Norm, and I am the editor of DetroitUnderground.com, and I am a DJ.
Hi, I'm Kevin Gillespie. I'm COO of Ingenix Digital Marketing, and darn glad to be there. And I'm happy to be here. Good to see a whole bunch of people.
I'm Steve Schwartz, own a company that builds web and mobile web applications, and also co-founder of CrowdJuice. So if you have any ideas or feedback, come see me.
I'm Aaron. I do web development and social media for Mattress USA in Brighton, and I like to travel a lot.
I'm Bobby. I was the other captain of the other Detroit team, but in my professional life, I like to think we were the better team. But
Yeah, we made a rap video.
We actually did make a rap video. We produced and made a rap video in like 4 or 5 hours, I'm going to say. But in my professional life, I work with Aaron. I am the SEO and social media lead at Mattress USA.
I'm Dee Daisy. I'm an independent marketing contractor. I work with companies who provide business-to-business services. I bring ideas for new services to life and ensure that my clients are offering the right things to the right customers for the right reasons using the correct and right marketing techniques. Dee Daisy.
Hi, I'm Judy. I work with the Betty Brigade, personal assistance and concierge company based in Ann Arbor. And I had been in charge of communications for the company, but we just started, we're expanding, we just started a marketing department, so I need to learn more about what we're doing.
I'm Sherry Welcome. I'm with Sacred Business Systems. We do business printing and promotional products, and I'm part of Todd's team, Titan with IJ. Ah. That's not 90210.
Hi, my name is Mike. I'm an independent marketing consultant, pretty much like me. I help companies drive their sales with strategic planning, branding, messaging, and that sort of marketing activities.
Good afternoon. My name is Hank, and I'm an entrepreneur. And our company helps people connect through the e-commerce operation so they can build a profitable business venture on e-commerce.
I'm Roger Rail. Among other things, I do videos like this for this group and other groups. And next Tuesday is A2 New Tech at the Blah Business School Auditorium, so check it out.
My name's Pat Dom. I'm a sous chef at the Copper Grill in Chelsea, and I'm a marketing student at EMU, and I'm here for networking.
Gordon Kangas, Fluid Presentations. I help people improve their presentations by becoming more dynamic, telling your story better, and generally amping it up a little bit for you and your coworkers. And I want to say that I've got a seminar at the end of the month that is open to anyone, individuals or groups, and I'm giving a discount to all LA2M attendees. So if you're interested, scan this code in the back or grab a card here. Use the code LA2M. Thanks.
Scott, and I just received my master's. I love creativity, and I like the Ann Arbor area too, so I'm looking to move here.
Hello, my name is John Borders. I'm here and I've always entertained and informed information here. It's always new and exciting information, and appreciate it.
Jeremy King, I'm here just to learn a little bit more moving into B2B marketing today. So.
Hi, I'm Jordan Coners. I'm a web designer developer. I'm looking for clients.
I'm Wayne Anker. I'm a web developer specializing in Drupal websites.
And you built our LA2M to go app down
Yes, I built the iPhone app.
My name is Christy Adams, and I'm co-founder of a search marketing company, Ware Nectar, and I work for EMU Marketing and Athletics.
Hi, I'm Terry. I graduated from Eastern with my bachelor's, and I do freelance Google AdWords account managing on the side, and I'm also currently studying for my Google Analytics certification.
Hi, I'm Julie Perea, and I wear two hats. I'm an internet safety facilitator for Washtenaw Area Council for Children's Internet Safety Program, If anybody's a parent out there and you're interested in having us come talk to your company for free about internet safety, talk to me. My other hat is I'm also a voiceover talent, and I would love to be the voice of your company or your answering machine, whatever your needs are. Talk to me about that.
I'm Todd Gagne, Isaac 90210. We have the most popular 5-digit code in the world, 90210 for text message marketing. If you text Team Motown to 90210, I just set up a message that's going to come out in the past minute while everybody's talking. So what they were able to do is I was able to blast out messages to literally thousands of people and deliver video, deliver mobile websites while they were on the challenge. And Kyle could actually go from his phone and deliver those messages directly from his cell phone to those thousands of people. So that's what we do. Todd with Isaac.
Darlene Marin, and I was in marketing for 14 years, and I now have an organizational business.
Hi, I'm Lauren Miller. I work at Stuef in Arbor in the marketing division, and we make exercise rehabilitation equipment.
Hi, my name's Amanda. I am the LA2M intern, and that was an awesome presentation. And good job, Jacki.
Hi, my name is Jessica Houston, and I'm with Cumulus Media Ann Arbor Radio. We have 4 stations, W4 Country, Ann Arbor's 107.1, WTKA Sports Talk, and WLBY Business Talk. And I work with businesses to advertise on the radio. And I used to work with Kyle.
And she is awesome.
Hi, I'm Nancy Ryder, and I work for a not-for-profit financial services company who happens to be a member of the Fortune 500. We actually just went up to 318 last week, so we're very excited about that. And I do free financial education for people in their 20s and 30s. So it's group-based, so if you're interested in financial education, let me know.
Hi, I'm Tom Crawford. I do 2 things as well. One, I have a recipe app on the iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch called Viz Chef, V-I-Z Chef, including recipes from local restaurants, including Common Grill. So that's awesome. And the other hat I wear is I'm a speaker coach. And for those of you who aren't aware, next Friday, so a week from this coming Friday, is TEDx Lansing. Tickets are up on the site now at TEDxLansing.com, so you can check it out there.
Don Klein, music marketing guy.
Hi, I'm Amber. I do marketing for BC Web Design, and we do anything from, making websites and social media. And we also like to educate people how to use these services. So if you have any questions, please see me.
Hi, my name is Brett Worsvold. I also recently graduated from Eastern, but I'm also looking to do Google AdWords for small to medium business.
Good afternoon. My name is Monty Falder, WebLiveStudios.com, a wild and crazy guy ready to do something like you guys did next year.
Hi, I'm Claire Scheibel. I'm a web developer at Stone Interactive Group. This is my first time here. Just kind of came out of curiosity to see what it was all about, and it's pretty cool. I'm Rebecca Woodward. I'm the marketing coordinator at the HOI Chamber, and our yet to be named Young Professionals Group is looking for volunteers to help clean up Peninsula Park for its Pride Day on the 21st. So if you're interested, let me know.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name's John Roselier, and I have invented a clock. All right, it's the development of the analog clock. We tell local time. We've got a great product here, but we just don't know quite how to sell it.
I'm Ursula. I'm actually finishing up one of my last courses at EMU, of which is Google Analytics, and I was referred here by that course, which this is pretty cool, so it's something that I will frequent this summer. So try to network.
Don't come July and August.
Hi, I'm Gail Baird. I'm also a student at Eastern Michigan University, specializing in search marketing, and currently studying to get my Google certification.
Hi, I'm Nancy, and I work at Saline High School, and I was just here to learn some more.
Hi,
Hi everyone, I'm Megan Crosby with the Charles Reiner Company. We're celebrating 40 years in business. We are a residential and commercial real estate company. So Scott, when you're ready to move here, call me.
My name is Lauren McLeod. You can follow me on Twitter at Lauren E. McLeod. I'm excited to say I'm starting a new job Monday, actually. Thank you. With U of M Pulse System, their public relations and marketing. So I'm really excited about that.
Bill Saeed, pro-founder at PacMo.
Hi, I'm Kayla, and I'm director of events at PacMo.
My name is Tim Atkins, and I just want to say how awesome it is that there's so many Eastern grads here. And the other founder of PacMo, and I published a magazine called I Spot. That was awesome.
I'm Derek Johnson, digital enthusiast, and I was brought here because of, let's see, a few Eagles alumni and a bunch of Team South by West guys.
Apparently you make house music.
Yeah, apparently so. That and digital, that and acoustic guitar.
Hello, my name is AJ Dees. I'm with Loving Works Ann Arbor. We market the health and wellness products of Dr. Kyle Morgan. She's an alternative medicine osteopath here in Ann Arbor. And we're looking for some people to help us with our new product test, which is called the Sleep Balancer. So if you know anyone who could benefit from an improved night's sleep or an improved day's sleep, come see me.
I'm Mary Knowles with Boulevard Financial, marketing and representative, and we'd like to help you secure your financial future.
I'm John Sayre. I'm with X Embedded. We're one of the high-tech companies here in Ann Arbor area. We design high-end Intel-based processor boards.
I'm Katie Sayre. I'm a student at Adrian College studying marketing and photography.
I'm Karen Von Hesselberg, and I'm a retired nurse, and we're in the health and nutrition. If we can help you, just let us know.
Hi, I'm Carter Sherlin, Frog Print Studios, and I'm a commercial editorial with a portrait photographer.
Yes, and there was a couple people in the corner here who didn't get to speak. We can't allow that. So we're going to get a couple more back here. Please.
I'm standing. I'm Alex Gillen, and I work at University of Michigan. I do media monitoring, and I am
I'm Nicole Rhodes. I'm the web designer for the University of Michigan News Service.
Well, I'm glad we heard from them. That's good. New people for me. So, okay, so my name is Derek Marabon. Most of you know me, CEO of Ingenix Digital Marketing. And we do all types of digital programs and optimization, a lot of things that we tend to talk about at LA2M. And yeah, so let's give one big round of applause for the panel. We're not done yet because Dee's going to close it, but you are getting out a few minutes early. So there's extra time for all the conversations that might go on, because I think there's a lot of people that need to hug it out and talk. And
We're waiting for the Motown song.
It's my pleasure to introduce next week's presentation and speaker. Our senses play a role in how we act as consumers and how our senses influence us as purchasers. And next week we have Amanda Brewington coming to talk about how music plays a role in impacting how we brand our companies as marketers. So see you next week, May 18th at Lunch Ann Arbor Marketing. See you then.